Greetings adventurers, Frost here. Today I want to discuss the Hydraxian Waterlord rep. This rep is required to obtain Aqual Quintessence, and your raid needs to have 7 of them to summon Majordomo Executus and Ragnaros. At least 7 different people will need to get honored with the Hydraxian Waterlords, along with completing a short quest line to get your Aqual Quintessence. If your guild is trying to get a week 1 or 2 rag, then the best class to get honored is Mage. This is because mages can AoE farm the elementals in Silithus to farm honored with the Hydraxian Waterlords, along with mages being fast levelers, meaning they have extra time before the other classes make it to 60. You can even start farming the elementals at 55 or 56 to finish up the rep before you hit 60. The quest chain starts at Duke Hydraxis, who is located on an island off the southern coast of Ajara at 79.2 by 73.6. You will need to be at least level 55 to start the first 2 quests, which are Poisoned Water and Stormers and Rumblers. For Poisoned Water, you have to travel to Eastern Plaguelands, where you will be using the Aspect of Neptulon, a provided quest item on the Blighted or Plagued Water Elementals, to turn them into Discordant Elementals, and then killing them to get 12 Discordant Bracers. This quest will not give you any Hydraxian Waterlord rep, but it will give you XP. Then for Stormers and Rumblers, you will have to travel to Silithus. Here you will simply have to kill 15 Dust Stormers and 15 Desert Rumblers. However, you will want to farm these until you get honored with the Hydraxian Waterlords. This is because one of the future quests will require you to have honored, and these are the best mobs to grind honored on. They give 5 rep per kill until you reach honored, and then they no longer give rep past that. And again, mages can AoE farm these mobs, so they are really good at doing this for your guild, especially if you can trust your mages to be at the raid every week to summon Majordomo. However, eventually everyone in the raid will have the required rep to get Aqual Quintessence, and once again this quest only rewards XP and no rep. If you are the mage that has to farm this rep at the start of phase 1, then I have a couple of tips. First, the Dust Stormers. They are level 55 to 57, they reward 5 rep each, and their main ability is Hurricane. Luckily it is not a channeled cast, and they don't cast it too often, which makes it so they can still be AoE farmed. One strategy is to kite the mobs for a couple seconds until they all cast Hurricane, so that it is on cooldown and they won't cast another one on you while you blizzard. Then the second strategy is to make sure you have a full ice barrier before you blizzard so that they can't knock back your blizzard even if they do cast a Hurricane on you. Also, while farming Dust Stormers, be careful not to pull a group of Whirling Invaders. They don't reward rep, they are level 57 to 58, and they have a lightning shield that make them hard to AoE farm even at level 60. The only reason to kill them is if you are looking to get some extra XP, but you will probably just die killing them if you aren't 60 because of the lightning shield. Also, avoid the rare spawn called the Wind Reaver. He hits really hard. Then there are also the Desert Rumblers. They are level 56 to 58, they reward 5 rep each, and they don't seem to have an ability. These are slightly more spread out than the Dust Stormers, but they are slightly easier to AoE down because you don't have to worry about Hurricane or pulling Whirling Invaders since they don't spawn near the Desert Rumblers. And now that you are honored, let's get back to the quest chain. So after you return to Duke Hydraxis and turn in these 2 quests, he will offer you a quest called Eye of the Ember Seer. This quest requires you to kill Pyroguard Ember Seer, which is the first boss of Upper Blackrock Spire, and he drops an Eye of the Ember Seer, which is what you need for the quest. From what I can find, this item will most likely have a 100% drop rate, but Wowhead says that it only has a 5% drop rate, which would make it much more of a pain. Once you do get your eye though, then you will return to Duke Hydraxis to complete the quest, and again it will only give you XP, and then Duke Hydraxis will offer you the quest called the Molten Core. This quest requires you to kill 4 different trash mobs inside of Molten Core. So the best way to do this is once you and 6 others are on the quest, then you get some guildies together to kill a Molten Giant, a Fire Lord, an Ancient Core Hound, and a Lava Surger. You can kill all of these without having to kill a boss, so you will not have to save yourself to your Molten Core for the week to complete this quest. You then return to Duke Hydraxis, and once again you will only get XP from completing the quest. The next quest you get is Agent of Hydraxis. The only thing you need to do for this quest is get honored with the Hydraxian Waterlords, which you should already have from farming the elementals in Silithus, and again, the quest only gives you XP. Now you only have one quest left to be able to get your Aqual Quintessence, and that is Hands of the Enemy. This is the quest that you want at least 7 of your raiders to have when you attempt your first Molten Core run. You need to kill 4 of the bosses to complete this quest, and those 4 bosses are Shazra, Luciferon, Sulfuron, and Gehennas. Then you return to Duke Hydraxis again. The quest does not give rep once again, and so you just get gold at this point since you're probably 60 by now. And now when you talk to Duke Hydraxis, you will have an option to ask him to give you an Aqual Quintessence. The Aqual Quintessence will only work once, and then you will have to return to Duke Hydraxis to get another for your next week's Molten Core clear. After you complete the Hands of the Enemy quest, then Duke Hydraxis will also offer you a quest called A Hero's Reward. This quest does not require you to do anything, you just have to pick which one of the 2 rings you want. After a couple weeks of this, you are going to start getting tired of having to go to Duke Hydraxis to get an Aqual Quintessence every time that you want to clear MC. Luckily, there is an Eternal Quintessence that you can obtain from Duke Hydraxis once you reach Revered with the Hydraxian Waterlords. The difference between the Eternal Quintessence and the Aqual Quintessence is that the Eternal one does not only have 1 charge, instead it has a 1-hour cooldown. This allows you to no longer need to return to Duke Hydraxis every week. However, the only way that you can get from Honored to Revered is to kill mobs and bosses in Molten Core, to kill Lord Incendius for 15 rep, to kill Pyroguard Ember Seer for 50 rep, or to kill Hurricanian, a rare elemental in Silithus, for 25 rep. However, the best way to get to Revered, if you want to just farm it, is to farm Molten Core trash, because those mobs give between 20 to 40 rep each, and you can knock out multiple people's rep at a time by doing one big trash run. And that concludes my Hydraxian Waterlord reputation guide. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I know many of you want to know what server I'm going and what my general plans are for Classic WoW. I have actually been putting this video off because I don't know what server I will be going yet, but my guild is getting a better picture, so my goal is to put out a My Plans for Classic video by Wednesday, 8/21. But as always, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all on Azeroth.